Da, 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 da. Welcome back, my friends. This is BjjBrick Quick. My name is Byron. This is a podcast where we talk about jiu-jitsu and we try to do it pretty quickly. These past couple episodes, I've, kind of broke the 8-minute mark. Dang it. Looking at this one, I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I had a listener question about IBJJF rules. And I didn't want to make 5 episodes on each belt for the rules, and there's different rules for kids and all this stuff, and it's like, man, what are we going to do? I'm going to kind of cram it into one episode. I will put it back on you. If you're competing in any organization, go online, check out the rules. IBJJF has the most extensive rule book. It's like 50-some pages long. You need to understand it, not just read it. Ask your coach about it. You download it to your phone. You could, hey, what does this mean? What is this picture? They have illustrated pictures. It's great. They try to make it to where you know what you're going to be doing or what you can't do. All right, let's do some rules. I've already squandered a minute. Adults. Adult to Master 7, white belts. So you can do, I'm reading this, they have a big chart here, and they have what's a foul. So you could do submissions that stretch the legs apart. That would be kind of like doing the splits. You could do a choke with spinal lock, a straight foot lock, a forearm choke, like an Ezekiel choke, front guillotine is good to go, omoplata, triangle choke. You could pull the head on the triangle choke. So they don't allow kids to pull the head on the triangle choke, but they would allow, hey, adults, good way to go. And a arm triangle. Those are what they have listed as a legal submission for white belts. Let's jump up to blue and purple belts, adults, master to a master 7. So all those are that I just listed that white belts can do. Of course, you're going to be able to do those as well. Also, here's one that I will tap to in training. It's been a while, but the right person can do it to me anytime. Lock inside the closed guard with legs compressing the kidneys or ribs. We've got a couple guys, and I'm getting off track, I know, on an episode. A couple guys who are like 280, pushing 300 pounds. They close guard on me, and they squeeze my ribs. I just say, hey, man, I'm done. Like, my ribs are going to pop. I have rib problems already. So you could do that, blue belt and purple belt and on up. I guess it's better to say blue and on up. Wrist locks are legal, blue and up. And, okay, this is kind of interesting. A single leg takedown while the attacking athlete's head is on the outside of the opponent's body. So having your head on the outside, it's not a legal move, but then again, they have an asterisk there saying that they don't penalize you for that because it's just risky for you. Because a good chance you're going to land on your own head, I think is what the problem is there. Don't do it. That's what they say. But if you do it, well, it happens so fast, maybe is part of the problem. They don't penalize you for it. I think if people are giving themselves concussions all the time, maybe they would. Looking back at these. So anytime you jump up in a belt level and now I've got wrist locks. Now I've got let's see. I have the ability to do a takedown with my head on the outside. You can't do that as a white belt, but you can as a blue. Look for those things. Maybe not for you, but you should know how to keep an eye out for wrist locks in particular. They're super fast. They're sneaky. They happen in interesting positions. And you might spend some time developing your own wrist lock and maybe catch people who made that jump to blue belt and didn't really think about wrist locks much. And you might find it a little bit of a vacancy in their training that you can rent a room in. I don't know. That sounds weird. I don't know why I use the word vacancy. Anyway, let's jump up to the next level. We're doing good here on time. Adult to Master 7. So if you're not familiar with Master 7, that's an age group. I think it's the oldest. I'm not sure. But adult is 18 and up, I think. I think it's 18. Yes. And so brown and black belts are lumped in the same thing. And this is gi, because there's different rules for no gi. So you can now, as a brown belt and black belt adult or older, you could do bicep slicer. So now we're doing like the muscle crushes, calf slicer. You could do a knee bar and a toe hold. So we've kind of opened it up there at brown belt. I would have thought knee bar was before that. But no, it is not. Not on the rule book I'm looking in. So the knee bar and toe hold come into play, and there are always people that have gone from purple belt with a really good track record of competing to brown belt, and they just didn't want to change their game. They didn't want to learn new things. They didn't even want to learn the escapes to knee bars, and boom, they get knee barred or toe holded. It's like it's not that much more to learn. You're already a brown belt. Add the knee bars. You don't have to do them. Just know how to get out of them, know how to break apart the setups, know when they're looking for a knee bar, this type of thing. It's oftentimes a hole in people's training because they haven't been training it for that long. You don't want a guy who's going to compete as a white belt, drilling knee bars because he can't do them. She's going to get in trouble when she knee bars her opponent. Anyway, okay, let's go on. One more category. Well, we already covered black belts. I know what you're saying. We haven't covered the no-gi stuff. So adult, brown and black belts lumped together again, but take off the belt and we'll do no-gi. Okay, we've got some new moves here. And this is where it gets a little bit, a little more wild here. Heel hooks are legal. Twisting locks involving the knees. Reaping the knees is perfectly fine. A straight foot lock. And let's see, a toe hold applying outward pressure to the foot. So a different type of angle on the toe hold. I'm not sure about that one. I have to look. They got pictures. They explain all this pretty well. So learn your belt level. Okay, what's got the red dot on all of these? What's illegal for everybody? Slams. A spinal lock without a choke. So here's the deal. As once explained to me, basically all chokes could also be called a spinal lock. So you guillotine me, I'll say, hey, it was a neck crank. Okay, so no chokes are legal now. So if it's an attempted choke, it could also crank the neck. Like that's not a valid complaint. But if it's not even an attempted choke, I think of like a can opener style where I just crank on your neck, I'm not even choking you, that's going to be illegal. A scissor takedown is illegal. Bending the fingers backwards is illegal. And then this is a long one. I was grabbing the opponent's belt and throws him on him. This is probably just for the men, I assume. Grab the opponent's belt and throw him to the floor on his head when defending a single leg situation while his opponent's head is outside the body. So it kind of like you go to a takedown, your head's on the outside, and I spike you on your head. But this is only, I guess, for the men. Women, I think that's perfectly legal. It never says anything about the women. They could just change the word him for fighter. Anyway, I'm going long. Every time I should change the show to be like BJJ, not as quick if I do want to go to 10 minutes. Suplex takedowns are illegal when landing the opponent on their head or neck on the ground. Okay, boom. Those are the rules. I ran through them. Don't trust the podcast. I hate to say that. But you need to study these rules for yourself. And any other branch of tournaments, if you're doing a different, you're doing AGF or some, fight to win, whatever, learn their rules and be ready for those rules. And whether you want to, start doing those knee bars when you get to brown belt or not, that's fine, but be ready for them to be done to you. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. If you want to support it, check us out on Patreon. Or go to the BjjBrick shop at BjjBrick.com and check out one of our audiobooks. Have a great day and stay sweaty, my friend.